Pavement. There's some pavement.
Amen.
That's what we preaching on today.
Amen.
Pavement. This one even has the white lines in it. Some of us have a hard time staying between those lines.
Mind your business.
All right. Now, how many of y'all have different uses for pavement?
Amen.
Right?
Yes.
We walk on it. We drive on it.
Yeah.
How many of y'all like could use this?
Right?
I mean, how many of y'all could use that? There's some uses to it. But I also want to ask, have you ever heard about investing?
Invested.
Right?
Amen.
Investing. There's a little story I want to start with real quick. And investing is important, isn't it?
Yep.
Amen.
It's future oriented, right?
Yes.
Our lives should be future oriented, correct? And throughout this Christian man's life, he invested in gold. And one night he was sleeping in his room, and an angel woke him up. The angel said to him, "Come on, let's go. Your number is called. Let's go." Now, whether this is false or fact, it's one of those pastor stories, okay? So it could be either way, all right? So he gets him up and is like, "Let's go. Your number's called. You're it. Let's go." And so he gets dressed. He's like, "Well, come on, let's go." And the guy's like, "Wait a minute." And he reached down underneath his bed. And he pulled out a big old suitcase. And it was all the gold that he's been investing. And the angel's like, "Wait, no, you can't take nothing but yourself. You can't take nothing but yourself."
Right.
And the guy's like, "Well, wait a minute. Let me just bring just this suitcase. Please, let me just bring that." So however angels communicate to God, we don't know.
Amen.
So after a moment of communicating, the angel's like, "All right, you can bring your suitcase. You can bring your suitcase." So as they're walking up to the pearly gates, the angel and the guy with the suitcase full of gold, he comes up and St. Peter's there and is like, "Wait a minute, wait, stop right there. You can't bring earthly possessions into heaven." And then the angel reached over and whispered to St. Peter, like, told him what the story and situation was. How many of y'all know that God has a sense of humor?
Right?
Yeah.
Amen.
He does.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
So I've been down that road many a times.
Yep.
And God's laughing at me. Well, let me take a look. St. Peter says, let me take a look. So he opens his suitcase and he drops it and just hysterically laughing at this guy. Just laughing and laughing and laughing, and the laughing's still happening, and the guy's sitting there like,
What's going on?
like what's so funny? What's so funny? And finally, St. Peter gets up and, from laughing so much, and he's trying to catch his breath, and he says, "Why do you want to bring pavement into heaven?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Oh yeah. Why do you want to bring pavement into heaven? See, it's once we understand that God has no value in this.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
That's right.
There is $750,000 worth of gold right here.
Amen.
And there is no value. There's no value in pavement. My God. There is no value. Once we understand
Yes.
that the gold, the pavement, does not matter in our life to our God. Amen?
Amen.
There is no value. They're equal. They're equal.
Yes.
Man, have y'all ever seen that much gold before?
No.
Never.
Never.
Mm. Matthew 6:19 and 22. Do not lay up yourself treasures in heaven. Sorry, I read the wrong sentence. I'm so sorry. Do not lay yourself treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroy, where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, your heart will be also. Now there is nothing wrong with earthly treasures, earthly things, earthly material. We all need it, right?
Right.
We just have to understand the value of it. We have to understand that there is an identity that you do not want attached to the material things in your life.
Right.
I do not want to be identified as the guy that hoards all the gold for himself. Or pavement, depends on where you're going.